So, lads, today we're going to be talking a little bit about Diana Taurasi and Caitlin Clark because let's be real, we got stuff to talk about from yesterday's game, like the referees with Alyssa Thomas, like the referees with Aaliyah Boston, like Sophie Cunningham calling out the Phoenix Mercury organization afterwards. So, we got a lot of things to talk about last night's game, but we're going to do that a little bit later. It's currently like 3 p.m. I just woke up. I finished all my work yesterday at 8 a.m. I just woke up. So we're going to have all of those stuff recorded. I'm going to get this one up and then we're going to record all of that stuff and get it up throughout the rest of the day. However, lads, we got to talk about a positive before we talk about all the negatives. And it is Diana Taurasi on Caitlin Clark. So let's take a listen to what she has said.
About the generation coming to these younger girls' defense so quickly.
Right. I think it's great. I think that's what makes sports great, right? Not everyone can be loved and not everyone can be hated. There has to be a happy medium, and I think that's what makes it so exciting right now with this new generation. And we talked about how they used their social platforms to really push the game forward. And you know, if anything, we can learn from them too. I think sometimes being, you know, the older players or the oldest person in the room, you're always looking at the things that they have easy, but they've done some amazing things in a short time, and that's why the
I mean, she's not wrong, which is very funny. She went from all the reality is coming to these players. And let's be real, I think when it came to Taurasi, it was just that they were competitors. Like, let's be completely honest. Diana Taurasi was hype when she knew that she was going to play Caitlin in 2 months and she wasn't going to play Paige. She immediately started hyping up Paige and putting down Caitlin. And I don't think she dislikes Paige or Caitlin. They're both incredible players. But like the year before when Caitlin was in her junior year, geez, she was had nothing but praise for Caitlin.
WNBA is where it's going also at this point, using their social platforms and their voice, you know, in a time where it can be spread really easily, that message. So I love these kids. What Caitlin's done in the last 3 years, 4 years, is just mind-blowing. The way she's taken her popularity, her fame, and really moved the game forward. But the thing I love the most about her is she loves the game of basketball. She works at it.
And that is a big thing as well. Like, it's clear that Caitlin wants to get better. Regardless of what people are saying, oh, she got worse from this year to last year. Man, the first 4 games this year, she was averaging like 21. She's averaging like 21 and 10 and 9 or something through her first 4 games. Or through her first 5 games of the year. Like, until she got injured, there was another level that she was getting to.
At it. She plays at a level that no one has reached yet in the WBA. So, you know, to me, I think she's going to take this league as far as she wants to.
That is a crazy statement to make, and I don't disagree. Like, I actually don't disagree with that. And, like, by the way, I'm not out there saying that Caitlin Clark is the best player in the world by a mile. Like, I'm not out here saying that. But I do think the way Caitlin plays the game is a different level. And I said it a year ago that Caitlin's whole thing isn't like the 3-point shooting. It's not even the passing. She just processes the game on another level. Like, she plays. When she's on the floor, all you have to do is run and she'll find you open. Like, she will make your life easier. There's so many with Caitlin where I'm just like, she's one of one. She's one of one. It's the reason why I think Paige is a hell of a player. I think these other players are hell of players. Like, I don't rate the Enriques. I don't rate the ISO Kelseys. When I say ISO Kelsey, I'm not saying I don't rate Kelsey Mitchell. There's 2 versions of Kelsey Mitchell. There's off-ball relocating wide receiver Kelsey, who I love. Then there's ISO Kelsey, who is Cam Thomas, who's just an empty stats player. But yeah, so let's like, who is the interviewer? They're gonna start calling her a hater and disrespecting all her records now. Yeah, they're gonna. It's like so are they coming around, or they're coming around, or reality woke up? I think Diana Taurasi had a triple-double dropped on her head. Like, Diana Taurasi had a triple-double dropped on her head, and a 20-point 13 assist, a casual 20-point 13 assist, and a 29-point 10 assist game dropped on her head 3 times last year. Like, everybody wants to compare Paige to Caitlin. Caitlin had, I kid you not, 10 games last year better than Paige's best game this year. Paige's best game is 35 points in a loss. Caitlin's best game in a loss was 24 points, 19 assists. She had 24 points, 19 assists in a loss. So if you want to say, like, best games in a... Like, Paige doesn't even have the best game in a loss. And not only that, Caitlin Clark has had 30... I think it was like 35 and 9 in a win last year. Like, on a team that was not... By the way, the Fever were not expected coming into last season to be as good as the Wings were this season. DT and Candace, when it comes to praise Caitlin, she's great. She plays at a level no one has reached. She does. She plays the game. I think a level no one has reached is maybe not wording it well, but she plays the game in a way that nobody else has been able to do in the women's game, including herself. Like, this is coming from arguably the greatest player to ever live. And if you if you get basketball, you know what she's talking about there. Like, there are certain things where it's like, okay, I've never, like, there's no way that after 3 games against Caitlin last year, especially how it happened, like, they literally sacrificed Kalia Copper 3 times to just guard, or twice to just guard Caitlin. They were like, we're cool with Cass scoring 4 points as long as she guards Caitlin. But that's the thing where it's like, and she still goes and has a near triple-double. She still takes over a game. And it's like, okay, yeah, I've never seen this before. That's not saying Caitlin's the GOAT. That's not saying Caitlin is the best player in the WNBA, which I don't think she would agree with. But as far as guards are concerned, prime for prime, she's already, like, from about 10 games into last season till the end of last season. That's a 30-game sample size. And that was, by the way, 2 seasons earlier, 30 games was an entire season. So for most of these players, 30 games an entire season. For the length of an entire season of 30 games, prime for prime, Caitlin Clark had the best 30 game, which is a full season for a lot of these players, spell in the history of the WNBA for a point guard. So yeah, I don't disagree with that. I don't actually disagree with her take. Since, in fact, nobody else passes and shoots the distance she does. She's able to do all that while being face guard heavy. The injuries have gotten people comfortable thinking she's regular. And the fact is that Caitlin Clark, that's the thing. Like, Caitlin Clark last year had the record for most points generated per game for a player in the history of the sport as a rookie who took 10 games to get used to the league. Like, there are like half of Diana Taurasi's records, like, in terms of, like, individual games. Like, obviously, career record, it is what it is, but most of Diana Taurasi's individual game records were snapped by Caitlin Clark in terms of point creation. Taurasi was a better scorer, sure. But, like, when you've had the greatest career of any WNBA player ever, 22 years, you're seen as the GOAT by a lot of people, and then all of a sudden, you a good few of your career records are being broken by a rookie, then you're like, oh yeah, shit, this is legit. It's legit. Might have taken her getting her boat rocked by her 4 times. It was 3 times, but yeah, she got destroyed. She didn't play one of them, but they got destroyed 3 times. I had a think piece from this about to be crazy. And there shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, because let's be real. Caitlin Clark is not better. Is not the greatest of all time. I don't think she's the best player in the world. But what she does at her best, she is the most impactful offensive player the game has ever seen. And that is a sport that includes Taurasi. Like, Taurasi existed. Taurasi was as bad a defender as Caitlin was. Or as Caitlin was a rookie. Like, and in fairness to Caitlin, she's improved a lot this year. But I think Taurasi is on the money with that. What Caitlin is doing, and what Caitlin has done, no guard in the history of the WNBA has ever done that. Has ever done what Caitlin, has ever reached the peak of those 30 games from Caitlin Clark. And that is a fact. If you want to consider Maya Moore a guard, there are wings that have done it. No primary on-ball guard. Like, you consider Taurasi kind of that, because she has at times played the one. But, like, in terms of point guards, like, when you're talking about Chelsea Gray, Lindsay Whalen, Sue Bird, none of those players have reached that peak. Like, none of them. And that's the thing where it's like, maybe you go back into the 90s. You go back to the 90s at the start of things. And, like, let's be real, she's reached a different level than what's her name? She's reached a completely different level than even, like, a Teacher Panachero. People were literally out there saying, oh, like, the reason why the Fever were, or the reason, like, she's not even close to Teacher Panachero. She's way better than Teacher Panachero. And maybe, if you want to consider Cynthia Cooper a point guard, okay, you win that argument. But they're different types of players. And even Cynthia Cooper would say that Caitlin does doing things that even she couldn't do on the floor. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys.